All right. Hi, welcome. This is the monthly. This is a really super long business name. It's called, I don't even know what it's called. No, I have a monthly training call. I try to do the first Tuesday of the month. Sometimes that works out. Sometimes I have to move it. And every month I love bringing women together. It's not only for women, but that's generally who shows up. I love bringing concepts that I think are relevant, that are going to be supportive, and it's not just a thing where I have PowerPoints and y'all are on quiet and mute and I don't talk to anybody. What I love about these calls, this monthly business expansion experience, soulfully aligned business expansion experience. I might change that title, but because I want it to be an experience, right? It's not a webinar. It's not really a training. I want to move more into discussion and kind of community connection as well. So welcome to that. The one for today we're doing, it's like energy. How are you running your business? I'll share with you how this got started. I was running a group call, and a woman that's normally super perky, and you probably read this already, but she's super 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 perky, and she was really like heavy, and I was like, "What's up, dude?" And she's like, I should be writing that book. And normally she's excited to write her book, right? And I'm like, "Well, what's your story around that?" And she was making herself wrong. Now, again, there's not like a big book contract. It's not like there was an editor expecting 20,000 words the next day. It's her own project. And yet she was making herself wrong. So when I said, what's this? What's the deal? And she said, I came from the corporate world. Like, so, and women of a certain age, we still have the old training of, in order to be successful, you must X, right? So what I noticed with her is, see, her husband is just retired and she's kind of having fun playing. So they're golfing, they're doing all the fun things. So she's in the energy of this new chapter. And yet her old operating system, she had a narrative of, it's wrong to golf. It's wrong to have fun. I said, what would you rather do? She goes, I just want to play. And I'm like, what's the problem? That's why I decided to teach this class and have this conversation, because that's what we do to ourselves, right? It's like our bodies, our energy, the part of us that knows the truth, the part that's like the little, guidance system going, go here. Our heads are like, you're going to be lazy. Oh my God. Right. And so it's a fascinating thing I'm going to say, try to teach. I'm not teaching, I'm just talking, because there's the dog. Because there's no expertise. It's not like I can go, oh, this is a proven social media formula. If you follow these 5 steps, you'll get 20,000 new followers. Because my operating system is not the same as Carla's operating system. See what I mean? And so it's not like there is one way that I can go, here's the way. So I'm sorry, you're not the one way. Apologies ahead of time. But what I want to do is we're going to dive into this, because if I could give you nothing else but this, imagine what it would be like to completely trust your operating system. That you literally could say, oh, weird. I thought it was going to write. It's telling me I need to go to the zoo. Okay, I guess I need to go to the zoo. That's where money's going to be made. But we don't trust that. So we're just going to, is it okay? We just dive in again. So I am not an expert on, I'm an expert on a lot of things, and I'm an expert on my operating system. But I want each of you, so the path is, we're going to kind of talk about like, what's the old? What were you raised with? Right. And there's never like, oh, that's all bad today. There's many good things. Right. And then it's like, and what's the new? But in order to create the new, it's like, well, what are your beliefs? Like, where did you get those? Who said you have to work 9 to 5? Who says? What kind of people sleep till 11 in the morning and work till 2 in the morning? What? Right. So it's like, we're just gonna identify what's been driving me up to now. How did that get creative? And what would be really cool to have instead? And so there will be some clearing, some coaching, maybe some breakout rooms. I never know what's going to happen. So some of you have been with me a lot. Some of you are my clients. Some of you, I just know. What I do is I don't have okay, at 11:15 we're going to do the. I don't do scripts. I follow energy. So I have ideas, and then we talk about it, and then at some point I might be like, hold on, I'm going to pick up my pendulum. I got to do a clearing on this. Hold on, wait a minute, and we clear it. So that's going to happen as well. So do I have your permission? Can you flow with me? Can you? Because if you're like a, all the dots need to be crossed and the T's and the I's. It might be like, ooh, that chick's all over the place. So we're just going to flow with the energy. I don't want to leave anybody hanging. So I love to teach where there's conversation, where people are going, well, what about that? I mean, that's for me is way more engaging. And I think people find it kind of fun to listen to as well. Okay, so you're good? We're good? All righty. So, and I also invite you, if you can be on live with us. I know some of you are just in the photos in the background. And here's the thing, women have been silenced forever. And I don't like the olds where like, may I please speak? I hate that. I don't want to have to call on people. so I say, feel free in my rooms if you want to just leave yourself off mute, because I know we're all trained. Get in Zoom, just then do we wait. And in my rooms, I'm like, leave it off mute if possible. I'm gonna have the dog running back and forth, so whatever. If there's distractions, just whatever. But I like my women present to share their truths. Can we get an amen?
Amen.
All right. So let's talk about old operating systems. This could be for you, or this could be just kind of what you think. So let's kind of finish the sentence. In order to be successful in business, I need to. So let's just play with some of that. Just go ahead and popcorn them. Just we're going to start. I need to. What do you have to have in place? How do you got to be? And just
Working hard.
I'm sorry.
Work hard.
Work hard.
Yeah, working all the time.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Office peaceful and quiet. Nice. Yes. Yeah. That's a good one. Absolutely.
Forsake all else but business.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Anybody ever done that? Like, and they'll tell you, like, you got to have skin in the game. And I've said it, I preached it, burn the ships. And that doesn't mean burn your whole life, but there is this idea that it has to be a singular focus. And that's great until you have a 5-year-old and you're trying to navigate, or a 6-year-old dog, that too. Okay, what else? What else have you been raised with, or seems very like, I'm not doing it, or I can't do it, but that seems like the right way to do it? I'll tell you one of mine. When I very first started coaching lots of years ago, I was working for a coach in a coaching company, and there was the principal coach and my friend coach that we were together, so the lead and then 2 young coaches, and they were wired the same. They have those really analytical brains, right? And so we were supposed to, my friend Sean and I were teaching a class on goal setting. I don't know a lot about goal setting. I'm like, oh no, I'm all in the feeling and the energy of goal setting. And Sean is just boom, 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 and it's like, no, like what you have to do is, if on Mondays, you're going to write a newsletter and you're going to put it in your calendar, 9 a.m. every Monday, you're writing a newsletter. And I'm like, and they're talking about their strategies. And I'm literally like, I'm not writing shit if I got to get up every day, every Monday, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, I love that structure. And I'm like, I remember getting off that call going, I'm screwed up, because wow. And yet, gosh, that sounds like such a cool way to live life, to be just plan your work and work your plan. What in the heck is wrong with me? Well, what's wrong with me? If you know Myers-Briggs, I'm what's called a P. They're what's called J's, right? And so I actually created a whole program called Right Brain Planning in the Left Brain World. And so instead of saying, Mondays at 9 a.m., I'll write my newsletter, it's by the end of the week, I'll get a newsletter out. You see that for me is a little container, but it was so easy to make myself wrong, because there's that I couldn't do seemed really sexy. That's you. That's right. You're working that way. So what else have you heard or seen? Because we're just getting the stuff. What else?
I think for me, Therese, it's kind of like an expectation that I need to be really smart and always ahead of everything. Like,
Okay. Nice. Yes. Really smart, always ahead. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What else? So operating systems. Are like when you first came into your business, most of us came from jobs or corporate world. Did anybody, and I played with clients with this, like I had a client that was so smart. She's amazing. And she liked to stay up till 2 in the morning. That was her schedule. She just could not get to bed before it. And she's in her 70s, right? And she's like, I do my best work at 2 in the morning. Well, so she's not starting at 9. She's not doing 9 to 5. She's doing kind of like noon to 2 a.m. And she made herself wrong consistent. Like, what's wrong? And I'm like, you're brilliant. Like there's but because of the mentality of no, it has to be a 9 to 5. See, there's a lot of making yourself wrong. So what else? What other operating system do you have? What other stories? And again, a lot of it, the challenge is it's a blessing and curse because we get success when we do it. Right? It works because it works. But then what happens when it stops working? Shalise, you want to share something? Or are you just showing up here? You're on mute, honey.
Oh, I'm just showing up. I was eating.
Okay. Okay. No worries.
I think it's like, I think it has to be consistent or be willing to be seen all the time. I don't really know. I really need a journal on this.
No, that's good. That's what we're here for. So the goal is to take maybe a static way of thinking, like this is how it always has to be, break it up a little bit, clear, energetic. Because you know, like Wendy's talking. I'm like, girl, whose is that? Is that like some family stuff? Like whose beliefs are you carrying? Because that's what we do, right? So that's why I'm surfacing a lot of this stuff, because we're gonna clear it. And then you get to create a new decision for yourself. I love that. Um, has anybody heard the expression no pain, no gain? Right? Like the old bodybuilder thing, like we're 50, 60-year-old women and 40-year-old women or 30-year-old women, but we have to be bodybuilders and override our body. And we just have to push so hard that we break down. And that's when I came into the industry. That's what I did. And so many of my girlfriends that were in we have kids, we have businesses, and we have adrenal failure because we push and push and push and push, right? So it was kind of a bad when I came in the industry in 2001, there was no conversations like this. There was no feminine energy. There was no goddess. There was no focus on your health. It was, so what if you have kids? They're not an excuse. They're not an excuse. Who cares if you don't see them? You don't want it badly enough. And I'm not exaggerating. These are like mentors used to say that stuff. It was so abusive. Wendy, you had something?
yeah, just when you said that about no pain, no gain, another place that I went with the pain is that, I think that I'm more like you naturally, Therese,
Mm-hmm.
but I did not live that way because I kind of, when I was young, wanted to be a dancer, maybe an actress. And the response that I got was, that's not a real job. Like, that's not, you know, and somehow, especially because I lived with that type of thinking for a lot of my life. Well, not a lot of my life. I'm quite older, but it became. I thought that the pain can sometimes be living a reality, a framework that's not mine.
So
That's
good. That's so good. Goosebumps. Yeah. A lot of us, well, so raise your hand if you consider yourself a creative, raise your hand or put a star in the chat. If you consider yourself right brain, raise your hand. Okay, there's two of us here.
I don't know the difference. I can't
Okay.
keep track of the
Okay.
difference
Okay.
between right and left brain.
Right brain. Generally, the right brain are more artistic and flowy, and that way, yeah. So the left brain are more analytic and more like plan your work your plan. The right brain sometimes are like, oh, I'm building the plane as I fly it. My left brain analytical people will be like, I'll die. so so sometimes I love that, Wendy. Sometimes it's, like when I look at all my 20 years experience, one of the things that I mainly do for people is give them permission, because it's literally like layers and layers and layers of not only conditioning how to be, but conditioning you out of your joy. And so it's literally like pulling away, and just go, what is it? What wants to be revealed? And so that's like, thank you for helping us get here, because that's my goal for you. That's the gift I do. The way I work with my clients is, we're freeing you. We are freeing you from all the things that have held you back. So, because I really believe we're connected with a soul or God, whatever you want to call that, and we're here for a purpose. But if we have somebody else's operating system, it's either going to feel icky, or we're going to sabotage it, or we're going to be like, I don't know. Like, people say, well, like, this could sell. I could probably do this. And I'm like, eh. That does not pass the test. Does it bring you life? Does it light you up? Are you happy? Okay. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. Does anybody else want to share? Just kind of, we're sharing
Yeah,
how to work.
yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
So yeah, right brain, definitely. Um, I've created businesses throughout my life, ever since I was a kid, from 5 cents a snail, taking people's snails out of their garden, to pet care, kids,
Yeah, yeah.
everything. And I realized just now, I grew up in a left brain family. And so, I was always told, that's not real, that those aren't real jobs,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And the work I do now, even now, they're like, well, you can't make a living doing that.
Right.
And but it's more than that. I'm not allowed to. So here's where I'm kind of hitting a ceiling, is I'm not allowed to, because if I do, then they're the failure, because they didn't follow their passion.
Oof, oof, oof. Okay, so on some weird karmic thing, you've said, I'll do this for you. I'll under function so you never have to feel those feelings. So
Right.
cutting all the cords, we'll do all the things. Okay, so here's what I want you to do.
Wow.
Shauna, you want to say something? I heard Shauna. I heard.
No, it was me,
Oh,
and I went, "Whoa,
Marjorie.
that really resonated with me." I just kind of like, whoop.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Oh my, I know. See, yeah, there's so much of how we do business. So number one, what I say about business is it is absolutely a spiritual journey, right? Because none of us are working for McDonald's. None of us are franchisees that just are given a manual. All of us, we are the business. We are the expression of the business, right? And when you are the expression of your business, when you are up for sale, and sometimes some of us crazy lunatics work in the world of spirituality or energy, like, if you're plumbers, you can say, hey, easy peasy, boom, the clog is cleared. Yeah, showed it to you, it's done. If you're like doing, feminine energy goddess work, you're like, right. It just is better. I don't know why. If you talk to dead people and you're a medium, you're like, I like when you do stuff like that, or even coaching or even therapy, like acupuncture, it's such a different world in terms of that it's not sometimes quantifiable. Like I'm like, oh, couldn't I have been a plumber? I wouldn't have done well with the dirt. But it's easy to go, oh, I got it out. Right? Anyway, but when we work in the world where is it okay to be visible? Like what I just connected with your dead grandmother and she says you're going to be fine. Pay me now. Like, when you're in that world, it's very easy to go, this can't be right. This can't be, wait. Okay, let's service this one. Has anybody ever said, I can't even believe I'm getting paid for this because it's so easy? Anybody ever said that? Has anybody thought, I would do this for free because it's so okay? And there's again, because you look at where we came from, the puritanical era where it's just all work. If you have family that lived, were part of the Depression era. A lot of my Jewish clients, post Holocaust, there's imprinting, there's messaging around, the seriousness of it. And it's sometimes immigrants, like you're first generation. It's like, you got to earn your keep. You're not good enough. Like there's a lot of stuff that is in the space. And so you get some crazy mentor like me who says, well, what does your energy say? What does your body say? Do you really want to work today? And your body's like, I'm so tired. And your dead grandmother's going, I didn't suffer for you to stop working. You see how it goes? There's so much wrapped up in it. So we're going to pull it apart. So I want you on a scale of 1 to 10 right now. So we're going to write a number down. 1 is, wait, hold on. And full disclosure, we might get a little sassy mouth occasionally. So just FYI, it's part of the brand. No apology, but disclosure. So wait, I got to get the question right. How fully are you embodying the right energy for your business? So for example, for me, you'll never catch me on a call at 8 a.m. Not ever, ever. And I don't work weekends and I don't work late nights. And I used to in the beginning, right? In the beginning, I had to be everything for everybody because I had to get you to like me and pay, right? And so I sacrificed myself. And then I'm like, wait, no, I need 3 days off. No, I don't want to work weekend. Like for me to restore, this is what my energy needs. So I can say for my energy, I pretty much I'm pretty like 8, 9, 10. I nailed it. I work in alignment with I work with who I want. I don't do the stuff I don't want. 1 is either I don't even know what works and I'm just throwing stuff against the wall, or 2, I'm doing things. I hate them. This isn't working. I don't like it. Good, Shalise. Yeah, you can you're free to put your number in if you want. And I want you to put a couple, go ahead and do that one. So has everybody gotten a number?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone got a number? Yep. Okay, good. We got 7, 8, 8, 9. Nice. And you don't have to share. I want you just to be able to have it like, okay, for you, what is it? Thank you. Good. You guys are doing well. Nice. Okay. Nice. So what is part of your, let me get the words right. What were old beliefs? So an old belief, for me, an old belief is I had to keep everybody happy and my needs weren't as important as other people's, right? So I had to be selfless. Why do you think I was a therapist and a good codependent at that, right? So my belief is I had to sacrifice a lot. People pleaser, right? So what old beliefs either were there or are in the mix? And it could be like something like you're lazy if you're not working 40 hours a week. I have a client, she's a very successful woman, and it's literally like, get your dead dad out of your head. Get him out. Fire your dad now. No, because dad was like a military drill instructor dude, and he just pushed her and pushed her and pushed her and pushed her. And so there's no rest because the dead dad is basically telling her she's a lazy ass if she doesn't work 16-hour days, right? So the belief is if you don't do it dad's way, the right way, it's not going to work, or I'm a failure. So does anybody have those? Because I think that's an important thing. Like, just what beliefs? I want you for yourself to identify what was there, and are there little remnants here at all? Is there still anything left of that? Because when you create a new identity in this area, it's kind of risky, right? Like it's like, oh, is this going to work? So let's identify. Anybody want to share some old beliefs? I mean, people pleasing, accommodate the client, big insight. I don't know how to care. I would really like it instead of me having to read. If you guys could just share it, that's easier than me having to stop and read. If you're comfortable, if you don't want to, that's fine. But if anybody wants to share, that would be great. What beliefs did you have? Wendy, you got something?
Yeah, Teresa, it was that it was about people pleasing for sure, because it was about belonging and as I was saying, for survival at first, but also I have a real thing for helping others, and sometimes I'm not sure. Sometimes it feels really good, and sometimes I wonder where am I in this?
Right.
If
Right.
it's, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think those of us who are people pleasers, we'd like to help. But if it's like, but if I don't help, I'm worthless. So it's when
Mm,
like, gosh, I'm sorry, I can't help and I'm still of value.
mm.
Like that's the boundary. Okay. Anybody else want to share any old beliefs?
I can share.
Yeah, Shelly.
I think around like my power, my voice, and like shining my light so bright, regardless of what anyone else thinks.
Good.
And I relate to your old belief. I used to be there too, on like putting myself on the back burner and bending over backwards for everyone.
Right.
So,
Right. Nice. Oh, so good. So good. We have a really cool group today. Thank you. All right. So what's old operating system? So we could just look at the you work 9 to 5, you're working late in the evening, you don't take vacations, you don't take rest. If you're sick, you're pushing through it. If your body's screaming at you, you're like, shut up, I gotta go make money, right? So what I know, I'll just give you a tenet because I told you in the beginning, I'm not an expert on your operating system, but I know mine really well. And you can't outrun a nervous system that's jacked up. Okay. You can't, we just had the elections in the United States. A lot of people were jacked up. Um, it's not the time when you're in the middle of like, gah, right? To say, suck it up. Now go work. Right. So that's the challenge is when either your nervous system is jacked up with anxiety or overwhelm, when you have something physically going on, when you have, in my case, I had a son that was addicted and we struggled a lot of years. So my priorities, my energy was over there a lot, right? So when you have any of those, if you're caring for elderly parents, if you have little kids, hello, a little sick kid, it's like, what's the priority? Because old school, no pain, no gain, gotta focus, is focus on that at the expense of and exclusion of everything else. So what I now know is what is my energy? What's my body? What if I don't listen to this, it's gonna be breaking down. Right. And so I literally have stories, multiple stories of very high achieving 7-figure, multiple 6-figure. One of my clients, Emma, and she has said this, she's told stories about this. She was really sick, like in bed sick, and she was really worried about income. And I just said, here's the deal. What if you trusted that if you took care of your body, God takes care of your business? Because if you are not honoring your body, if you are not taking care of the vessel, nothing else matters. So she gave herself permission to lay in bed and literally do nothing for 3 weeks. She made like $85,000 in those 3 weeks. Another client of mine, she's a mom with 2 young kids, and she has this operating system. She's like, it's really weird, Trees. Actually, the more I focus on my life, on play, on enjoyment, nourishing myself, the more I make money. When I try to focus on making money, I don't make money. So I'd say, okay, my body wants to take my girls to the beach today. My body wants to do this. Okay, boom, sales coming in. When she'd freak out because it's like, wait, that's not how it's supposed to be. What? Then she'd go, oh, but I have to focus on making money. It would dry up. So we all have this unique way of attracting. Sarah, can I call on you? Learning to listen to your body. You're here for a reason. Are you comfortable sharing what you've been working on a little bit about how money comes and if you push. Are you comfortable to share that? And you can say no, of course, but
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, so what many of you don't know is I am a student of human design. I love it and I use it and I also teach it. So, um, I have been struggling to make money and I had an epiphany in my human design. There is a thing that if I put a goal out there and I put money around my goal, I fail. If I put my goal out there and I evaluate halfway through my goal, I fail. So I learned that I just have to go and be and do, and everything will work out. So if I go and do something and say, I just want to help as many people as possible. I do metaphysical fairs and I instead of saying I need to make X amount of money, I'm just like, I want to help as many people as possible. I help a ton of people and I make a ton of money. So, but if I'm like, I got to make $600 at this fair, I'll walk out of there with 20. I
and,
just,
and
yeah.
you've tested it. You've tested it. That's the thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's one of those. See, this takes a lot of faith. Number one, it takes willingness to listen deeply, like, whoa, wait, what am I hearing? What? No, obviously, and Sarah's brilliant. Go to her for human design, obviously, but so she knows for human design. But even before she knew the gate specifically or whatever, you're like, I'm having this weird experience. So because we think, like, touch your head right here and go, my brain is not my friend. My brain's not my friend. It's so not your friend, loves. It is like a little terrorist in your head. But we've been taught that this is salvation. This is the Almighty. If I could just figure it out. Right? How many times have we been lunatics like that? Right? I think I was 3 days ago. There's no figuring out. There's allowing, there's revealing, there's being inspired, there's listening, there's discerning, right? And so what happens is we think like, okay, here's the way to be successful. Here's the way to make money. More is better. Just do more. Set a goal. And even the law of attraction, it's like I will da, 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 da. Sometimes when your mind gets involved, you mess it up. Now you might have an operating. I have a client. This is really cool. This is a fun story. I'm really proud of this. This is not a business coaching client. This woman is a colleague, and she said, "Oh my God, you've got such a cute relationship with Scott. Could you coach me? Because I'd like to have a man too." She's engaged. What? And yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm like, okay. And for her, it works. She has little cards, she focuses, and gets into the specific. It works for her to do that. For somebody like Sarah, it's antithetical and it will kick her out. So you can't say, well, that's what they say to do in law of attraction, or that's what, my minister said to do, or my coach said to do. It's like, okay, what works for me? Does that make sense? So if we're thinking of shifting into, like, what would you have to believe to begin? Because now I'm going to open the door going, okay, loves, down the hall. Hi, down the hall is your new operating system. It's just right this way. So let's talk about, what would you have to believe? We're going to start laying down the tracks. Okay. What do you have to believe?
Number one, I would have to believe that I am free to be me.
Oh, that's so good, Margie. Yes, 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 yes. 100%.
Thank you.
I think
For
I'd
me,
have
go ahead. Go ahead.
that I'm always guided and that I'm safe to follow guidance.
That, yes. Alice, and then Sarah, and then Elaine.
Sorry, it's coming back. I have to really believe, trust, believe that God divine.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Really, sorry, I'm just trying to put
I'm going
my
to come
words
back to you.
together.
Hold on, keep the words. I'll come back to you, Sarah. And then
I have to believe that work is fun.
Oh, Nice. Okay, Elaine, what do you have to
I,
believe?
I would agree with Sarah. I'm at the point that it needs to be fun, or I don't even want to show up with a company, or, it needs to, and the people I work with have to really be curious and want to, have fun and make changes.
Nice, nice. Good, good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Alice, do you have anything? Did it come?
Yeah, I really don't know what I have to believe.
That's okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you think about what you believed before, as in there's one way, it's the right way, I have to do it their way. So then the alternative would be I can find my own North Star. I can guide it, I can be guided to discovering my operating system. And one thing that is literally, because I've gone through so much hell the last number of years with my hard situation with my son, who's now sober. Let's praise God, he's sober. He's doing great. I just had to get to the point of, if I take care of me, God takes care of my business. I had to trust that, because that was all I had. Right. Sometimes and I also trust and know that my body is an exquisite authority. I can't override my body. And so what we do as women, we're like, oh, just come on, suck it up. You're fine. Quit complaining. It's no big deal. It's just one more blah, 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 blah. And sometimes let's get real. We got to sprint through life. We have things to do. We have stuff. We got to pay our bills, right? But if your body is screaming at you, so when it's seriously so simple with my clients, I'll say, what does your body want? Because I hear you want to do this. What does your body want? What does your soul want? What is your energy calling for right now and craving right now? And sometimes we're in the season of it just wants to go. And sometimes it's like, oh, I need restoration. So truth, I want you to ask yourself, I'm going to say this, and you're going to ask your body, truth, is it safe for you to create the operating system of your dreams? Yes or no? Don't ask your head, ask your body. Truth, is it safe for you to create the operating system of your dreams? Truth, do you know what is the ideal way to run your business energetically, not strategically? Truth, do you have it in you to know what your ideal operating system is? Yes or no? Okay. So the next question is, so there's, again, this is just data, right? So some of you might be like, absolutely, totally safe, I can do it. And there's like, oops, not safe at all. Ah, shoot, and I don't know. And that's okay. Sometimes it's like, what's here now? What works, what doesn't work? What's yours, not yours? So one, we're not going to do like a lot of journey right here, but one is like, the way I work, maybe you get up every morning at 9 a.m. and you plan your day. Maybe that's like really nurturing and sustainable. Maybe that's like, oh, love that. And maybe you go, I don't like it, but they told me I had to do it. So I would literally write down, this is what I think I have to do. This is who I have to be. But what would you rather do? What would you rather be? Right? You guys following that? Okay. All right. So what would you fear? We're just going to, the last piece, I'm going to do a clearing. What would you fear if you totally trusted your operating system? So that means, because this for me, what happens, and I will say, sometimes income takes a hit. I'm not going to say, and every time I don't work, I generate tens of millions. Sometimes I will have something all lined up. I'll be like launch ready. And I'm like, no, I don't know why, but I'm not doing it. Crap, there goes the income. But I have to try. I don't know what that is, but I just trust it. So what would you fear? I want you to answer me. What would you fear if you just said, okay, I'm going to jump into it, to using energy and an operating system in my work that's really nurturing, really sustainable, really yummy? What would you fear? And I want to hear some of those words.
letting go of what I came to believe would give me success outside. Yeah.
For me, it's, but I might not make any money.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Because there's one way, right? And if you're not doing it that way, then yeah. And it's, see, this stuff, it's not like, gosh, should I put pink on my nails today? I mean, this is like scary life, death, house, not house kind of stuff. It's really deep. So it's very, our whole identity, our safety, our shelter, everything is in it. Shali, so you fear finding balance. Can you talk about that? Because I'm not really.
Finding the balance amongst like my work and home and motherhood and friendships and just running a household.
Right, right. So would you fear you would lose balance then? Is that what you mean, or what do you mean? Because I asked what you would fear. So
Yeah, yeah, trying to sort out how to have balance in it because that's where I'm at. I'm trying to do that. Finding the balance.
okay, okay, all righty, got it, got it. Because it's tough. I mean, you have a lot. You have how many? You have a lot of kids, right? They're smaller
Yeah.
kids. It's a lot. So some ways your life isn't your own in many ways, and that's the season of your life right now, right? So whereas somebody like me who just has a dog living here, I have more freedom in some way to be a little more like, I'm not, no, I'm not cooking for you, Murphy. Get your own damn food. I don't say that, but you don't have the ability to do that. Okay. Any other fears? Yeah, Alice.
Loss of control.
Loss of control. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me just look at my notes. We're going to dive in and one more thing before I do it. When you okay, think about the operating system, so we're going to be tuning into your body. Think about the operating system that you have been trained. And I say operating system, that means the decisions, the habits, the identity, good women start at 9 a.m. Good women don't say no to anybody. If you want to make money, you have to do 7,000 emails, blah, 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 like whatever that is. I'm calling it the vernacular is just operating system, but all that, right? What do you have to do? Who do you have to be? Okay. I want you to feel your body. Just go when I put that on me, okay, in order to make money, in order to have the business I like, I want what happens in your body.
Can you kind of ask that one more time?
So what you said, Shauna, is if I stop doing things, I might not make money. So what you've taught yourself about how to make money, I know for you is you don't stop until all the work is done, right? And sometimes you don't go out, override your health. It's just like, no, work is priority. I have to work until I'm, to bone tired.
Yeah.
Like, so if that were like a little suit, you could put, okay, this is the me. This is how to run the business. This is what I got to do. How does that feel in your body?
Yucky.
Yucky. What are the words? Other words.
Uncomfortable, resistance, anger. It's like I want to push it away.
Yes, good. Okay, anybody else? So this is a really good exercise. And you could go in there. Now, some of this is good. So, this whole work till you finish a project, sometimes how nice to have the tenacity. That's awesome. If you're using it against you, right? Shirley says it feels restrictive. Anybody else? When you put on so for some people, it's like, I can't play until I get my work done. What are we, 7? Like, did we learn that in childhood? When our mommies and daddies told us, nope, there's no candy till you get all your work done. Okay. Right. So, like the first time back in the days when the dog whisperer, swooning over Caesar Milan, it'd be like 3 p.m. I'm like, wait, what? I'm just going to watch TV, right? Because it's 9 to 5, right? And I'm watching Caesar at 3. And it was like guilty pleasure. And now I wouldn't be guilty. And I'm like, oh, and bring the ice cream, girl. We are going in. And I literally would sneak and I'd be like, oh my God, like I'm just by myself in my house, right? But I'm like, to watch Caesar because I had during the day you have to work. Every minute has to be work. As opposed to how freaking fun to work 3 hours, watch Caesar, and then work another couple hours and then do whatever. Like that's flow. Okay. Anybody else? Because what I want to do is I want to give you contrast. Okay. So this is the contrast, how it felt in the old uniform of the operating system. Okay.
Almost
Go ahead,
suffocating.
Wendy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, honey.
Almost suffocating.
Yeah. 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 I feel like I can literally, when you're talking, my throat's like, so.
I feel like that could be related to like people, you know, children going to school and they go home and it's like you have to do your homework or else you can't do anything else. Or it could be related to like you have to eat all your dinner to get dessert.
There's so much training that we have to deconstruct. That's literally what it is. Okay. Carla, what about you? We've talked a lot about your operating system, and I know you have shifted over the years. So do you have any old stuff still lingering?
Yeah, and I'm shifting. I really decided, just to go for it and do things, and I'm doing things. And I think the reason that I'm on this call, and I love my work, and yet I still have a level of resistance. Like I I just, like when I have a client and I see the client, I love it, but I still have that level of resistance, like, oh, I wish I didn't have to do this. It's and it's like I have all those reasons that I'm caught up in that, from my past. So it's
Right.
a lot of good, but the reason I'm here today is I just still have that little, instead of flowing with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so because you went from only work, all work and no play makes Carla a dull girl, right? Like you were just a
Right.
work, and now you're kind of, it's like there's like, but wait, darn it, client, you're keeping me away from my fun life, right? It's like, is that kind of how it feels? Can you elaborate just a little bit on that? What's the resistance?
The resistance is like still like that, like I have to,
You
like I have to,
you have to see
like,
a client, or you have to talk about that. Just go a little deeper with that.
well, I have to because I don't want to give it up, which is confusing,
Yeah. Yeah.
I still want to do what I'm doing, but I want to be lazy. So
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
it's a conflict, so
See, so perfect. So this is what it is. So see, there's an energetic that says I want to be lazy. Well, what kind of people, according to your father, are lazy? What happens to lazy people, right? So have you tried, like, you get to be lazy on Thursdays, or you get to be lazy after 3, or like I'm going to have a whole week of lazy, like because there's something calling, and it's not a black or white. Quit all your clients. So it's kind of like, where are you not giving that part? Like, okay, boom, you have an hour, be lazy. What would you do? Do you ever even indulge that? So it doesn't have to be black or white. You don't have to give up your business, but there's something that's asking and you're not hearing it. Maybe to the degree you need to. Does that make sense?
yeah, it is. And I do have a lot of freedom, compared to what I've done before.
Yeah.
But I think I've been trying to sort it through while we've been talking about this, but I think it may be that, like, I really have to, like, just totally be off, like I'm never off, like I'm always on call. So, and that's not really a hardship because it's not hard work, but I think I may have to create something where I'm just like off for a period of time, just,
So see,
like
that's
a week or 2 weeks or whatever,
okay. Do you
like
see? She knew, didn't she? This is her intuition. This is the part of her that had the knowing. I didn't do something miraculously to her. I gave her permission to allow the truth to emerge, like, oh, that would be the fix. But you probably weren't listening to that, or maybe hadn't given yourself permission. So is there anything you would fear if you start listening to the part of you? It's like, whoa. And maybe you take the 4th week of the month and you don't answer client calls. Maybe it's like, okay. And you just educate all your clients, like, you know what?
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? Is there anything you would fear if you were crazy enough to listen to me and do that? What?
Well, I think what drove me my whole life and probably still drives me is just the fear of not being needed, like like, oh,
And that's
people
just
need me.
it. I
That makes me
know.
worthwhile,
I
So
know. Raise your hand. Like we're all service providers. We all give. We're moms, we're women. It's like, I know, I know. And your life needs you. And so we're kind of at this tipping point where it's like, but I need myself more than I need you to need me. And can I honor the me that needs restoration and downtime? I need me to be healthy. I need me to be settled in my nervous system, right? So you are needed in your nervous system. You're needed in your body. Get home, right? So, but I love that. So that's an exact example of if I'm not needed, I'm shit. If I'm not needed, I'm worthless. So I have to do everything to be needed at the cost of blah 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 blah. So what you do is you're like, oh, isn't that adorable? Oh, that's so cute. There's a little part that wants to be needed. Oh, I get it. That saved your life. You knew how to operate. I get it. And you did a great job. You did a really good job. You've done such a great job with people needing you your whole life. And it's going to be a little different now. You're still going to be needed, but it's not a demand to be needed. It feels nice to be needed, but you don't demand. You know what I mean? Not that you're demanding, but the demand of your worth is demanding that. Woo!
It's not required to live a good life, right?
I say that one more time, please.
I think what I'm hearing is it's not a requirement to live a good life.
And the older you get, you know that expression, I got no more to give. At a certain point, you're like, I don't care. Right. Like you have to like, I don't need people to need me. Because again, how much do you need yourself? Like literally if your primary responsibility is to nourish you and to fill you, it's a different game. Then I got to get you to fill me. I need you to fill me. Would you fill me? Would you fill me? Would you validate me? Will you love me? Will you approve of me? Did I do okay for you? Like, oh my, that's like exhausting hamster wheel stuff. And I've done it. Right. We've all done it. How are you feeling now, Carla?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what I get from you, Therese, is like this, it's like permission, it's like always, it's like permission to like think it through and maybe do something different, so
boom. Told you. I said that all, exactly. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. That's beautiful. Okay, we're gonna do a clearing, then we're gonna move into part two, probably maybe 15 more minutes if you can hang with me. We're good? Can you hang? Okay, shake it off. This has been heavy stuff. All right, so I'm just gonna do a clearing. I generally just whatever comes. And so right now, so what I'm doing, I'm tapping into the collective. I'm using a pendulum. If you guys, most of you know what this is. So right now with the people on the call, how open are you to living your own operating system, like running your business with energy that's nourishing you? How open? Before this clearing, more than 20, 30, 42%. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. You're a pretty healthy group. Okay, 42% already. So I just need you to get in place where you're comfortable. And just allow, here we go, it's coming already. I want you to allow yourself, we're going to take like one big inhalation. On the inhalation, we're going to just imagine we're going to bring in possibility. And on the exhalation, you're going to exhale doubt. Inhale possibility. And I want you to exhale old stuck energy. Taking another deep breath, and you can begin to breathe normally. And allow yourself to get in a really comfortable place in your body. Trusting and knowing that your soul guided you here. This is your time. You literally called this experience to you because you are ready to make a change. And I want you again to, like we did at the beginning of the call, decide that you are here to release whatever is no longer yours. And in your mind, you say, I decide now. There we go. You are here to return anything that you were carrying, maybe family messages, gender messages, any messages you were carrying about how it has to be. You're here to return that. In your mind, say, I return that. And we're going to get more specificity in a moment. And you're going to look at any part of you that co-created some experience with a family member, with society, that like, yeah, I'll take those limiting beliefs. Yeah, I'll buy into that. I'll believe that. I'll believe there's only one way. And if I'm not doing it that way, then I'm wrong. I buy that. And now you're going to be free. So any part of you that chose basically to work against your knowing, work against yourself, to take on somebody else's operating system for you, I want you to give yourself permission when it's time, you're going to let that go as well. And just say, I also will let that go. There we go. Okay. So I want you to first imagine, like, if we're going to bring up anything that is holding you back. And so I'm just going to speak some words. So maybe the understanding that in order to be successful, I have to forsake everything. I have to work all the time. It has to be hard. Maybe I have to sacrifice myself. Maybe there's only one way. Maybe I learned that I was only valued when I took care of others or did all my work or was the good girl. Maybe you learned that you didn't matter as long as other people were happy and you were doing what you were supposed to do. Maybe you got praised and validated for being the workhorse, the one that was quiet and just got everything done. You got lots of rewards for being successful and bright in spite of what you wanted to do. So just allow right now anything to come to your mind that you know has influenced you. I've spoken about some of the patterns earlier. So just command anything that I remember, anything that I don't know, but energetically, I want to bring up. I'm going to bring anything up energetically that I believe is holding me back or has held me back. Maybe there's a specific person's voice in your head. Maybe there's family situations or epigenetic imprinting that is still holding you back, that is impacting you. So I want you to imagine right now, it's safe to release this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to imagine you can hold your hands out and you're going to just say, show me. You're going to imagine you're in your hands, you're going to start seeing or energetically picking up just these blocks, just this, like, maybe it looks like sludge, maybe it looks like rocks or bricks or just all this stuff. And just going, what else? And what else? And what else? Imagine it's getting heavier and heavier and heavy to carry. And on the count of 3, I want you to determine that you no longer have to carry it. You chose to carry it, and now you get to choose to be free as we create a new operating system. You can let this stuff go. You can be loved and work in the way you desire. You can be successful and do it in a way that is restorative and nurturing and nourishing to you. You are not disloyal for finding your own path. You are not lazy for focusing on rest and recovery. You are a sovereign being. So I want you to imagine these things in your hand. I want you to say, I am sovereign. I am free. I let this go now. And you're just like, shake them off, shake them off, shake them off. Go, go, go. Imagine it just keeps coming out of you. Just keep shaking and shaking and shaking. Anything that I remember, go now. Anybody's influence that I still am carrying, go now. There we go. Oof. It's safe to upset the apple cart. Weird words, but that's coming. It's safe to be my own thinker. It's safe to follow my own guidance. Say that to yourself. It's safe to follow my own guidance. I'm so happy and grateful that I can trust myself. Say that. I know absolutely what's right for me. And I'm excited to learn more and more what my operating system is. I trust and I know that if I'm guided to rest, I will still be taken care of. trust and I know if I'm guided to work or inquire or create something new, I will be taken care of. All right, so taking a deep breath. I want you to imagine we fast forward 6 months. So we're in November, so we'd be in May. Fast forward 6 months. We're coming together as a collective. Or having this conversation, and you say, oh my gosh, seriously, Tracy, you would not believe what has happened to me in the last 6 months. This is how I operate. This is what my schedule looks like. This is how exquisite I treat my body and honor my energy. This is how the money is flowing. And this is how much richer my life is because I'm in tune and I'm in charge and I'm cared for and supported and loved. So I want you just to see that vision and amplify it, make it brighter, stronger. Hear the words, feel the feelings in your body. I want you to imagine you can put your hands to your chest over your heart. And it's as if you're just like, yep, searing that in. Thank you. That's what I have. Thank you. I'm a yes to this. I want you to say, I'm a yes to this. This is mine. From here on, this is how we roll. This is it. I trust myself. I trust myself. And when I trust myself, others trust me. When I trust myself, money flows to me. When I trust my guidance, I get more guidance. And the next step's revealed and the right people come in. I can trust myself. Beautiful. All right, taking a last few deep breaths. I want you to bring yourself back. All right, lovies. So how was that? How was that? What'd you get? Anybody have some aha, new stuff? And feel free to share, please. I'd love to hear. I know you're coming back in. Get in your body first. Drink some water, move your fingers, whatever.
I'm grateful to have realized that I feel emotional, that I more want the freedom and I want the security of the old beliefs and the old operating program. And also that I felt kind of both a sadness and yet a release in the letting go. But I know that I'm always safe. I'm always guided, and I am always.
Just breathe. You got it. Just breathe.
I'm always opening more and more and more and more, and I am getting this more than getting. I'm allowing.
Beautiful. You know, I love this, Wendy, because when you step into the new, there's also grief for like, right? Yeah. And I have a kind of one of the ways I practice is we love all the parts. We can't ever heal by hating aspects of ourselves. And so the you that was aligned to the older way, the you that imprinted those messages of, you know, that it's heavier, difficult. That was all she knew. And she was surviving. And she was really smart to know she figured out how to play a game. She got her needs met. And so we always want to go back and just go, props to you. You got me here. Good job. And now I'm going to take me here. Right. So it's just a really sweet way to work with it because we can do like, oh God, why was I so stupid? Why did I waste so much time? Like we don't do any of that. not on my watch. We just love all the parts. They're all just trying to support and get us our needs met, and it works. Right.
Thank you, Therese.
Yeah. Who else? I want to hear how that last piece was.
Yeah, I uncovered an old belief that, and it's like, I didn't even recognize it as a belief. It was just what was true. You have to work till you drop in order to survive.
Oh my God.
And
You
it
all
definitely came
have.
from dad.
Good
So,
hell. Oh, Shauna. Oh my. Oh my. Well, a lot of us were raised that way. I mean, I
yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of
Oh,
opened up a disappearing pool and just kept throwing it in,
nice.
letting it go.
So what's a new belief?
Well, I do love I wrote it down. It's safe to follow my own guidance. But yeah, something bigger than that. I'm going to sit with it for a
Yeah.
while. I my sound was garbled even on the second machine, so I'm looking forward to the recording so I can hear the
Okay.
first 40
Perfect.
minutes.
Perfect. 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 Okay. So that's what happens when I said we're deconstructing. Whoa, you mean I don't have to work till I drop? And there could be feelings about that. It could be like, oh my, um, wow, what would I prefer? And if you trust yourself, because there's something in you that will go, that's enough. Okay, well, hold on, wait a minute. Just, you're getting close.
Yeah.
Temperature's getting hot here. And
Right.
if you demonstrate trustworthiness, um, then we can let you go. Go. She'll stop when she's ready. When you don't have that barometer, you'll drop. And
Yeah.
so that's like, how do I know that I'm trustworthy? How do I know that the guidance I get? And so like, Carla, like take a week off. That could be terrifying. And her
Mhm.
body is going to be like, oh, thank you. So maybe then she doesn't need a whole week. Maybe she needs a day, right? Sometimes
Mhm.
I feel like overkill, but we got to start trusting.
Yeah.
Really good.
Thank you.
Good. Anybody else want to share what came out of this meditation? Shalise, yeah.
Um, it just feels so freeing and so like peaceful and joyful and trust and ease and magnetism and ah like trusting our heart and inner compass.
Yes. Yeah.
It feels really good.
It's so good. But we've been conditioned out of it from the time in the beginning, right? And it still happens. And so that's our anchor point. That's the North Star. Just trusting that.
Yeah.
And I love that. I'm so glad you got that. That's really awesome.
Yeah, and when we do live in that way, it's magical. I mean, the synchronicities and just how everything unfolds, it's like you can't make this up.
Exactly.
This is
Exactly.
awesome.
Exactly. And see, and we didn't talk about the masculine and feminine energies. The masculine energy is I have to go get it. Like, right. And that's not a gender-based thing. That's like there's times when it's like, I gotta hit the ground running. I got a bunch of stuff to do, go, go, go. Like we have to work in the way of action and activity. But if we only have our mind thinking we have to make it happen, it's exhausting. And there's a whole part of us that isn't being attended to. And the feminine is, what can I receive? What can I ask for guidance and then notice what's happening? Right. So one's more active, the other's more passive. And we have been taught as women that the masculine way is valued, that the
Mm-hmm.
is not valued. I know you teach us, Shalise, this is your thing, but I love the remembrance and like, oh, magic happens beyond what you can create. So good. Anybody else want to share about the meditation? What you found? Yeah, Alice.
Yeah, so for me, being in control,
Yep.
I didn't realize until we were doing the meditation. The reason is because if I'm not in control, it all goes into chaos and
Yep.
you free for all and all of that. And then stepping into, I am safe in the flow.
Beautiful. Ooh,
That's
I can feel that one.
that's where I
Whoa.
get to be.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Oh, so good. Really nice. Beautiful. Okay. So my hope is that we have, Carla said, you gave me permission. And so I hope that we surface the old. And again, it's not binary. It's not that all sucked and this is the right way. It's some of these things are good tools, but when you're feeling like a hostage to other people's ways or outdated ways, when Carla was in medical school, it was a great idea to not have any hobbies. Just head down, bang it out. That was very smart. And now after how many years in practice, you're like, I'm not medical school anymore. I don't need 20-hour shifts, right? So it's a very different, whatever season you're in your business, sometimes it's a little bit more hustle. It's a little more like, I got to show up when you're like, I want to shift gears. I don't have to work that hard. Or Shalice, little kids, I'm not working 40 hours just in my business. I gotta figure out how to navigate all of it. So my hope is that you got permission today, because that's the most important part. So is there anything else you want to say about what you took away, how the call was? And so two questions. You can do that. What do I talk about next month? Do you guys have ideas? You put it in the chat, or like, what can we have for next month? I could do like start your year off right. I don't know. What would be kind of fun? This got brought up because, like, again, a client, I'm like, I have to do that. So if you have any ideas of what you would like to cover. So, and one last thing, I would love to work with you. If you have, you could buy a session or two. I've got a membership, a monthly membership where we meet 3 times a month. Some of the people are in that. Very reasonably priced, $147 a month. And if you want some private sessions, like, reach out. I can give you a few sessions. We can just get you over the hurdle, or we can work together longer term. Reach out if that's calling to you. Okay. So any last words before we wrap?
Thank you.
Great to have you, Wendy. I was thrilled you're with us. And Shalice, so good to see you. Gosh, we haven't talked in a while. You look great. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Elaine, welcome. I got some Phoenix people. She's in Flagstaff. Marjorie's in Phoenix. Yay. So, all right.
Trace,
Hey.
Trace,
Yes.
say, honey, this is off the wall, but can you see me? I just have a black screen.
Yeah, I can't see you. No, we can't see you, Marjorie. So.
Okay. I was wondering if you could see me because I just have a black screen.
Nope.
Lost.
Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. This was beautiful. Thank
I'm so glad.
you so much.
Lots of love. Be in touch.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.